Okay, good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Wednesday webinar, which is now moving to a different schedule, but we are happy to still offer these webinars as resources, tips, tricks, product demos, just additional enhanced information that we can bring you at TAG to make your experience with the Sage accounting software system the best possible. So I am the moderator for today's session. Feel free to send in any of your questions into the Q&A box. You can also chat me. I will be monitoring any of those comments or questions, and I can defer them over to our presenter for today. Today's presenter is Olivia Roemer. She implements and offers us training, workflow design, all of that good stuff for our paperless system, which is today's topic. So I'll get started for today and just go into a little bit of an intro and talk a little bit about what Sage Paperless is and how it can enhance your experience using Sage. So Sage Paperless is an integrated document management system. So this is a full-blown electronic platform for any of your documents. Essentially, it's going to be replacing your file cabinet, anything from actual signed contracts, pictures, change orders, if you have HR forms, if you have work orders out in the field. These types of documents can really bog down your back office. So communicating from the field, within the office, you can kind of get rid of those old-fashioned manila folders, those post-it notes, those types of things that really tend to slow a project down, slow communication down. So Sage Paperless is going to replace all of that with an electronic system. Everything's going to be filed and also integrated back to those records in your accounting platform. One piece that is really kind of new, it's newer to the paperless system, is the optical character recognition. So if this is something you might be interested in, let us know. We're not going to go into detail for this webinar session, but it is available as a piece and a tool within Sage Paperless. And so this will be a way for you to actually have the system read those documents and kind of take over some of that data input for you. So it's a really nice add-on. Okay, some of the benefits of this system. Again, it's integrated with your accounting system. So you're not going to be searching for the information, whether you're in the accounting system or in paperless construction. You're going to have easy access to all this information. There are web-based capabilities as well to make this available mobilely out in the field or for even back office folks that just want to have access from anywhere. You have a lot of automation available, which is what we can kind of touch on in today's demo, and Olivia will cover that. So you're really going to be able to speed up your processes, build stronger relationships. You're just going to be able to manage all of this a little bit better. So with that, I will hand it off to Olivia, who is, again, our presenter for today.
Hello, everyone. So today we're going to go over Sage Paperless Construction, and this can work with both Sage 100 Contractor and Sage 300 Construction and Real Estate. So both accounting platforms work with the paperless piece, and like Leilani said, it's a full document management system. So right now I'm going to focus on the AP flow process, and then we'll go into how you handle other documents as well. So right now I am logged in as Rose, and she is our AP administrator. And when I log in as Rose here, you'll notice that I have some invoices here in my queue. So the invoices are here on the left-hand side. My queue is over here on the right-hand side. And as I click on these various items, you'll notice the different invoices that show up here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is start by entering in some of these invoices. So I'm going to click on New Invoice here, and you'll notice this screen pops up. Now this is linked to your accounting software, so all your vendor information, jobs, cost codes, etc. All that information is tied and synced, so it's going to pull that information directly from your accounting software. So real quickly, I'm going to pull this up. So this is Burton Doors. And I'm going to put in this invoice. And as you notice, if there's already an invoice inside your accounting software for this particular invoice, it's going to give you the same warnings that you would normally get when you enter in duplicate invoices or go over budget or things of this nature. Okay, and this is for doors. And this is for job 201. Whoops. You'll notice that it's also bringing due dates and discount dates over as well. Again, all of this is from your accounting software, so you never need to feel like it's not tying. It's pulling all this information directly from the software. Okay, so now that I've got some basic information in here about this invoice, I can do a couple of different things. I can add digital stamps to this. So I can say, hey, this is, maybe pending your approval, or I can also write digital sticky notes. So I can make some notes about this if I want to. If you have your own internal stamp that you use on a regular basis, you can also use that as well. So that's available to you. Whoops. Come on. There we go. You can also use that as well. And you can also create your own custom stamps too. There's also the ability to highlight things, to underline things, to black things out if you want to keep certain information private as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because this is invoices in regards to a subcontract agreement, I'm going to go ahead and click on this here, and I'm going to click on subcontract. Okay, so this is going to show me all the purchase orders that are available for this particular vendor, and then it's going to also show the dates and the amounts of those purchase orders. So I'm going to go ahead and select one of these purchase orders here. And as you can see, it's brought the purchase order information in here. So then I can just click on the items that I'm receiving. So in this example, I've got one of these for $375. I've got two of those, and I have got, and then I've received some of these. I've received 20 of these. Okay, so there is my total invoice here. You'll notice here it also shows how much I've received, how much is left, where it's coded to, what job, all that information. And again, that's all pulling from your accounting software. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my invoice. You'll notice down below now it adds all that information. So all these lines are now coded and expensed to the proper place and to the purchase order as well. So now I'm finished entering all the information that I need to on this particular item. Okay, now I'm going to wrap this invoice around. And you'll notice that 3 people have come up as those who need to approve this invoice. So first it goes to Jose, which happens to be our purchasing agent. Then it goes to myself for approval, and after that it goes to John Smith, who is the project manager, for approval on this particular purchase order. So these are customizable. You can decide how things are routed around for approval. If you don't want to set up automatic rules, you can also manually pick individuals that you want to send to for approval as well. All right, so I wanted to follow the automatic routing rules, so I'm going to go ahead and tell it to route. And now this has come out of my virtual inbox, and I can now enter in my next invoice. Okay, so now real quickly, I'm going to sign in as Jose, so we can now see the process of what Jose sees now when he gets that invoice to approve. Okay, so here is Jose's home screen, and you can see that there is one item in his inbox pending review. So if I click on this, it's again going to show me the invoice. So I, as an approver, have an ability to look at the invoice. I can see any notes that might be available. If there were any virtual sticky notes or stamps, I would see those as well. And then I can see where everything has been coded to. Okay. The other nice thing is I can see additional information. So if the purchase order was also scanned and added to paperless, when I hit this document match, I would also be able to see that purchase order as well if it was inside Sage Paperless, which can be very handy. I can also see check copies, any other documents that are related to this purchase order. So if I'm doing any research, it's very easy to figure out. Okay, I can also look at vendor history, so I can see if they've billed me before. So maybe I believe that there is a duplicate invoice, then I can take a look at that. I can see invoices that were in here previously and view those documents as well. I can also route these around to other individuals to look at or email them internally or externally to other individuals. So I have a couple options here. I can approve this invoice, I can reject the invoice, or I can place it on hold. So if everything looks good, I'll approve it. If I feel like there's information that's incorrect, I can either adjust that information by coming down here to edit invoice, and I can make the necessary adjustments that need to be made. Otherwise, I can reject it if it's completely wrong. So say that this invoice I was billed incorrectly. I want to reject this, send it back to Rose, our AP administrator, because I'm going to get a new invoice from the supplier potentially. Or I might place it on hold because maybe there's an issue and I need to address that first before I approve it. So everything looks good on this, so I'm going to go ahead and approve this invoice as Jose. So once I approve this, it is now out of my inbox, and then it's going to go to the next person and to the next person and to the next person for approval, however you have that approval structure set up. All right. So then I'm going to come in here again as Rose. So now that those invoices have been approved, now I'm going to send them to my accounting software so I have the ability to pay these invoices. Okay, so now this invoice is approved, and now I can export this invoice, or basically push it to my accounting software. So in this example, it's asking me what period I want to post this to. In here, I'm going to post this to my period of July. Oops. And now it's going to print out a report that shows me all the information, where it was coded to, what the invoice information is, etc. Okay. All right, so now if I go into my accounting software, in this example I'm using Sage 100 Contractor, you'll notice that here is that invoice inside Sage. So it's right here. And then in just a few moments, you will see a document that is in here, an attachment that will show that actual copy of that document. So I can look inside my software, I can see those attachments, etc. So it'll look something like this, where I can actually see the document, I can double click, I can actually view the document right there. And I'll show that to you in just a second. So now I can go ahead and pay that invoice or do whatever else I need to do with that particular document. Okay, so then the next piece is separate from accounts payable, and those are other types of documents as well. So as an example, I'm just going to minimize this here, and I scanned some documents here. And what I want to bring over is this subcontract that I have for insulation. So you'll notice as I drag this PDF document, my window changes. And what I'm going to do is I am going to index this file. And what that means is basically I'm telling the software what this document is. Is it a subcontract? Is it a change order? Is it an AR invoice? Those types of items. So right here, this is a subcontract, so I'm going to pick that. All right, and we are going to find that appropriate subcontract. So you'll notice when I enter in the subcontract information, it's going to pull in all the data, what job it's for, the subcontract number, etc. All that information is going to pre-fill from me because all that information was entered into my accounting software. From this point, if I want to, I can route this document around for approval as well. So let's say it's this subcontract, I want to route it around internally before I send it to the subcontractor, then I can do that. Or if I want other people to be aware of it, I can route it around without approval as well. You also have the ability to use Docusign as well. So if I have, let's say, a change order and I want to send it to one of my customers, I can send it with Docusign so that they will be able to sign it electronically and then it'll come back to me as well. So you have a lot of options that are available to you for documents within Sage Paperless. Okay. So now you also have the ability to view all your different types of documents. So you'll notice here that I have all kinds of documents in here, AP invoices, purchase orders, subcontracts, change orders, RFIs, etc. And when I hover over these various items, you'll notice that it displays what that item is. So here I have this subcontract for Schmidt Tile, and you can see it here now as well. I can also go inside my accounting software and pull up that document as well in here. So this is for subcontract 777. And you'll notice that that paperclip does have a piece of paper in it. And if I double click on that, it's going to again show me that document inside Sage Paperless. And that document is right here. Okay, so I can access these documents in both places, inside my accounting software or inside the Sage Paperless platform as well. The other nice feature of this is because you can keep documents together for jobs, what a lot of people like to do is when a job is closed out, they like to find all the documents for that related job, burn it on a CD and put it in their closed job file as well. So that way they have all the documents for that job in the file. So if they needed to look at it in the future, they definitely have all those documents available as well. This makes it really nice for research too when you have all the documents available for you to view. There's a full audit log too, so you'll be able to see every time someone touched the invoice or document, who approved things, what date and time they approved those items, if any changes were made, who made those changes and when they made them, etc. You also have a full functioning security, so you can decide what documents people are allowed to see, if there's certain jobs that they're allowed to access, certain types of approval processes that they can do. All of this information can be controlled by you. And this would all happen during the implementation process. Oops. You can also view various reports. The software can send you alerts when things go into your inbox, when things need to be approved by you, when documents get routed to you. All of that information can be automatically generated by the software and sent to your email to alert you. There also is a cloud piece to this as well. So if you have individuals who need to approve invoices or submit invoices and they're not necessarily in the office, you can also use the cloud piece of this as well. So as long as they have access to the internet, they can log in and they would be able to see the invoices in their queue. And similar to the approval process here, they have a green thumbs up if they approve the invoice and a red thumbs down if they need to reject the invoice for whatever reason. Again, same functionality if they need to edit it, if they want to view that document, all of that is still inside the web version as well. But it makes it a little bit more mobile friendly. So if we have any questions, I would be happy to take those now.
Okay, great. Yeah, I didn't see any questions coming through, but again, if you have any questions, feel free to type those into the Q&A box or the chat box. I will also be sending a recording of this as well to anyone who registered. This will also be available on our YouTube channel. So if you are watching this after the fact and you have questions you'd like to send us, please email us at sales@teamtag.net. And if you're interested in a more tailored demo, if you want to talk about how your particular organization is structured and how you would implement this, we'd be happy to set up a time and kind of look at what you're doing now and how this could improve on it. Also, if you're interested in pricing, I am happy to help with that as well. So it doesn't look like there's any questions, but thank you so much, Olivia. That was great. And we will see everyone at our next webinar.
Thank you, everyone.